Out of all the traits, what would be a trait that you think you got from your dad? Do you have an artistic side like that as
Oh
well,
yeah.
or?
I'd say me and my youngest brother, so Blade, are both
Mm,
artists. Like I do a lot of realism and
mm,
pencil work. Like I'm not so much a cartoon artist. Blade's more cartoon and he also likes the mixed media stuff. Um, but definitely very creative people. Like we all are in our own way, but I'd say me and Blade more so. Like Blade went to an art school. I sang. So if it wasn't
yeah.
musically creative, I was doing something that like really weird. But a lot of my art is pretty dark. It scares people. So I don't post a lot of it. And I'm like, I
Well,
did
you
a
could
really
share them with
cool.
me because I like the dark stuff. I'll
Yeah,
show
like
you.
Yeah.
Next time you're in California, by the way, I'd love to have you over and actually hang out at the
yeah,
bar and shoot some shit there. Then hopefully
yeah,
next time in Calgary, I could go to the Hitman bar because I was so bummed I missed out on that. But
yeah.
yeah, it'd be
We'll
really
have
cool
to
to.
make a big thing of it. Like it's so much fun. Like I really, the Hitman bar is cool because they took a lot of the photos that my dad has downstairs, like in his actual basement. So it's like every magazine cover that he's ever been on, and he
Oh
has
my
them just
god,
staggered throughout the house. Like, and so it's like he has that at the Hitman
it
bar.
must be
They
a
came
massive
over.
house because there's got to be so many of those covers.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it's like seeing all those things. Like I don't know. Like people are like, oh, don't you think that's like a little egotistical? I'm like, nah, man. That's so something
Oh,
to be so proud of.
Yeah.
Like I would do the same if I was on those things.
See,
Like, why wouldn't you want to frame it? But like, it's so
Brandon, this
it's
is making me
cool.
feel better about my gold records on the wall. This is
I
making me
know.
because
Yeah,
I feel a little self conscious about it sometimes when people come over. I'm like, oh yeah, I put them up on the
right.
wall.
But it's like you put in all
No.
this work. Why wouldn't you want it to
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
showcased?
you go
Right?
back and
Celebrate
forth
it.
though. I don't know if your dad does the same thing. I go back and forth on that. Like some days I'm like so happy I put that up. Other days I'm like, man, do I really need to put those up? Like,
Yeah. I'm being so loud right now. Just be modest for a moment. No, I think
yeah,
that go as hard as you want. Like my dad has like fan arts of himself like everywhere. Like so a lot of people don't realize is all the fan letters and stuff. It does go to my dad. It
That's
doesn't go
cool.
to like a secretary that like sorts through it or anything. It goes to my dad. So he has like all these like really cool paintings that like or there's like clay work. There's people that send him shoes or like anything that is just odd, and he keeps it all. Like he doesn't throw it
that's
out,
awesome.
right?
That's so
And
awesome.
and it's like lots of those people probably don't even realize that he keeps it all, and it does. It means something to him.
Brandon,
Like
what did you send Brett when you were growing up?
Nothing. I wish I would
I'm just
have.
kidding. Yeah, I know. I know. How good
yeah,
would it be if one of
now
us had
I'm
said
pissed.
something that we're like, oh, I said no, I didn't. I
Yeah.
never did that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
but
now I wish I
my
had. You
dad,
know.
yeah, and like I think that he also just has a really good appreciation for art. We all do, and like I was saying, my art's a little bit dark, and people are like, I think my dad had a tough conversation with me when he got prostate cancer. And
Mm.
then he was like, okay, if I go, like, what do you want? And I was like, this is the most morbid conversation. I do not want to have it. Like I was really like not into it. And then he's like, well, no, it needs to be a real conversation in case it happens. So what do you want? And like, I was like, your art, like your cartoons, like the doodles, like that really is the only thing that, like, that's him. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know, I don't necessarily care about the magazines and stuff. Maybe all the vintage tees, I'll take those. But I'm a big fan of like my dad's little doodles, like because he loves like
Right.
history and stuff and like the wars, and he loves learning about them. So he has this one drawing that he did, and it was just like a sketch, and it's so detailed, like everybody's dying or like somebody's getting stabbed, and it's just all on the bottom of like etched on the bottom of a canvas. And I'm like, I love it so much. He's like, yeah, it was just something I was doing when I was bored, and I was like, I love that stuff. That's
See that
the stuff that it means the most to me.
they
And
didn't
he's like,
show
"Ah,
that
I
on the
can't
A and
find
E.
it."
They didn't. They kept it pretty light. They didn't show
Yeah.
all the what you just described on A&E.
Oh yeah, he's got some weird doodles. So that's for sure. Like there's somewhere I'm like, what were you thinking though?
I love that though. I
Go
love
frame.
that you just said that though. Like even in the morbid conversation, but it's like yeah, it makes sense to me that you would want that because and like you
Yeah,
just were saying like the magazines are cool, all the accomplishments are cool, but this is a piece of the real Brett your dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone can understand
Yeah.
or have a understanding of that.
Well, it has his quirks and stuff in it, which is like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
gonna
I'm a
be so
very
cool.
like meaningful person. I love to read between the lines.